Pakistan is set to take a complete U-turn on their first stand of boycotting the match with India. But keeping in mind the stakes involved for Pakistan too, they now are looking at a climb down and a face saver while doing it. The ICC has rejected all the conditions put forth by Pakistan. What Pakistan sought, and these are details that we've accessed here in India today, Pakistan sought a bilateral series with India. So for all the grandstanding they're doing, they wanted a bilateral series with India. The ICC said nothing doing, rejected. Pakistan wanted an India-Pakistan-Bangladesh tri-series, again rejected by the ICC. The third condition, Pakistan sought India's tour to Bangladesh, trying essentially to send out a message that they're siding with Bangladesh. Third term condition rejected by the ICC. Essentially, Pakistan has attempted to tell the ICC don't penalize Bangladesh, but the ICC has made it very, very clear what they have to say on this issue, saying that we've given Bangladesh their due hearing. We made it very clear to them that they can be a part of this, but they can't dictate terms and conditions. Similar messaging to Pakistan here, that they cannot dictate terms and conditions. They can either play in the World Cup, they can either play that match against India or choose to opt out. There's going to be no face saver that will be allowed for Pakistan. Now, here's what we're picking up right now. ICC has given Pakistan a day to consult the Pakistan Prime Minister and decide. An announcement is expected either this evening or by tomorrow morning. And this announcement by the ICC will essentially seal Pakistan's fate. Let me bring in Gaurav Sawant for more details on this. Gaurav, all those terms and conditions that Pakistan attempted to dictate, we've accessed here in India today. Unsurprisingly, every single one of those conditions which were attempted as face savers have been shot down, rejected by the ICC.
Clearly no face saver for Pakistan. The ICC is very firm. Pakistan was on a very sticky wicket on this. Now, Pakistan initially, as India Today's Vikrant Gupta had also pointed out, Pakistan initially claimed it was backing out because of Bangladesh. Then they said they will play, but not the match with India on the 15th. But then again, when ICC asked, how can you take such arbitrary decisions? On what basis are you taking these decisions? Then they claim that these were very extraordinary circumstances of force majeure, where they cited their government's decision. Again, the ICC went back to them and said, okay, under what subclause were you going in for these measures? Why was your government saying so, especially at a time when on the same day that your government announced this, they were playing the under-19 with India, and the Rising Star Women's Asia Cup match was also happening, and Pakistan had no response. So the ICC, to give Pakistan a fair hearing, sent the deputy chairperson, chairman of ICC and another official to Pakistan in Lahore. There was a meeting, and a very long meeting. After that, Pakistan was asked to revert with whatever their government may say on this, but whatever reasons that Pakistan gave and the conditions that Pakistan kept, in all of this, even commentators in Pakistan are saying, if it was about Bangladesh, now that Bangladesh is not playing, why are you playing? It's a major loss of face. All you wanted was more money. So there is no honor for Pakistan. It's only about money. And apparently now that's exactly what appears to be happening, because the ICC has read the right act to Pakistan.
With these terms and conditions that Pakistan tried to put out and all of them being rejected, it's very clear at this point where Pakistan's place is as far as, the ICC and world cricket is concerned. But I'll bring in Nikhil now as well. Nikhil, considering every single one of those conditions by Pakistan were rejected, what option does Pakistan really have now going forward?
Well, Akshita, the first option that Pakistan would have if all conditions have been rejected is to not play the India game. That would be the obvious answer. Will they do that? I think, the jury is still out on that, and we're going to know in the next few hours. I mean, it's an interesting moment at the as I speak, Akshita, because we're getting conflicting reports from, from India as well as Pakistan. This is something that has been reported since morning, that the conditions that Pakistan wanted for them to play India were restore bilateral ties, get the handshake protocol back, and give us a increased share in ICC revenue. That is what they were hankering for, is what was being reported right here in India. Then, if you take a closer look at the reports that are coming out of Pakistan based on PCB sources, they claim that they haven't actually asked anything to do with Pakistan. Everything that they asked for on table when ICC came to Pakistan was related to Bangladesh. So what Pakistan is claiming at the moment, There has been no demands with regards to bilateral. What they've asked for is that allow Bangladesh to get a share of this T20 World Cup, even though you've taken them out. Going forward, if any country, like in this case, Bangladesh, quoted their government saying that we cannot play in India, you have to be cognizant of that. You have to take into account, and you cannot take a team out of a tournament. Put a rule in place. This is what Pakistan media says that Pakistan is demanding. And what they're also demanding is a bilateral series or two to follow with Bangladesh, which India were due to play. So, as I said, right now you're listening to different parts of the story. Now, if I were to assume that everything that PCB is asked for and ICC is rejected, and I completely agree with the news that we're breaking, that some of those demands, if they are true, they are outside the purview of the ICC. Playing bilateral series, the ICC can't decide that. It's not up to the ICC, it's up to the BCCI. So, it wouldn't be fair to say that the ICC is not given into the demand. They've said this is not something that we can answer for. Or for that matter, even a tri-series is not something we can organize. This is done at a bilateral level. So please take it with the countries that you want to organize. They are concerned about an ICC tournament. And if Morsi Naqvi is having a meeting with his government at the moment with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, I can only hazard a guess that there can only be two scenarios. One, Pakistan maintain their stance and they will not play the game versus India. Or if they do make a U-turn, ICC would have to in writing, for which can be a face-saving
No,
exercise.
but
They can say, we've gotten this.
But Nikhil and Gaurav, just stay with me. Nikhil, just a quick follow-up question on that. Can Pakistan really afford to do that? There's a lot at stake for them too. They can afford to grandstand, sure. But ultimately, the reason there's a rethink also, Nikhil, is because they have so much to lose.
I agree with you 100%, Akshita. In fact, they're not just looking at financial sanctions. They're actually looking at probably, end of cricket as we know it in Pakistan. Because we've heard not just now from the BCCI and not just from the ICC, you've heard from other countries as well. Recently, Sri Lanka board wrote to Pakistan saying, if you don't play that India game, we are going to be hurt. And let's not forget, Sri Lanka was that one country who had to endure the terrorist attack in Pakistan, after which they didn't have international cricket. Yet they were one of the first countries to go back to Pakistan when international cricket resumed there. Are you going to antagonize Sri Lanka too? You've had the United Arab Emirates Cricket Board also write to the PCB saying that, listen, this is not done. You can't keep the entire cricketing world at hostage. What we picked up a few days ago, the Australian as well as the English Cricket Board have also written to Pakistan. So yes, they are playing with fire at the moment. Any decision they take of not playing India, it's not India versus Pakistan. It will be Pakistan versus the rest of the cricketing world. And as I said, you could have a scenario where Pakistan will find itself isolated in the world of cricket. But that's the risk. As at the moment, does seem like that they're ready to take. It's a misstep. I completely agree. No country in their correct mind would be willing to risk so many things. But then we're talking about Pakistan.
Let's also be clear that the ramifications go well beyond cricket here, Gaurav. I mean, look at the optics involved. We're talking about the Pakistan Prime Minister also being involved. There is in all likelihood going to be a meeting that will take place later today in Pakistan between the PCB chief and the Pakistan Prime Minister. What are the optics here? That the government doesn't seem to know what they want. That, one day it's this, another day it's that, and then there's so much of speculation, no clarity whatsoever.
So Pakistan has a long history of tactical thinking and not having the strategic outlook. They just want to make headlines for that day. It's a game of brinkmanship. As far as Pakistan is concerned, they'll put out 4 demands. Even if one is accepted, they'll say it's a big win for Pakistan because they just have to spin it. And there's a Pakistani ecosystem in Pakistan and across the world that will carry their spin forward. Point 1. Point 2, look at the Kargil war. They came in not knowing what their exit plan was. So they tactically may have brilliant ideas, but strategically they don't have the bandwidth to think big, to think long term, and they end up shooting themselves in the foot like they did in Kargil, like they did during 26/11, like it was during Pahalgam terror attack. And here they think tactical, they don't think strategic. Point 2. Point 3, as far as Pakistan is concerned, they've often cut their nose to spite their face. They don't want India to look good. So whatever happens, it's like I lose one eye so that my neighbor loses both eyes. That is their mindset. So they're willing to lose a match thinking that India will lose more money, which is clearly not the case. As Nikhil has told us in the past, and as we well know, India can take the hit. Pakistan cannot take that hit. And this is one time where Pakistan has noticed that India refuses to let Pakistan browbeat us, bully us, or blackmail us. That is not happening. And in this case, the ICC, look, even in the case of Bangladesh, the decision was 14-2. It was only Pakistan and Bangladesh. So Bangladesh was hung out to dry by Pakistan. Now Pakistan is saying, give us more money, we will play. So, you know, they've let down Pakistan, they've let down Bangladesh. They want more money. Give them more money, you can make them do anything. That's the truth about Pakistan. Let's see if this time will they play or will they, either ways, you know, they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Either ways, it's doom for Pakistan.